What is up then guys, hope you're all doing well, welcome back to the channel. So in the last video you might remember me saying that I wanted to widen the wheelbase of the vehicle because I've got this massive fapping space which I really want to get rid of, and I've had comments saying my car looks too skinny and now my car has a complex. So I've just been in contact with a local business called Anembo Engineering. I know of them because they're a local business, and I also met them at Ford Fair at Silverstone. Really nice fellas. So I've seen videos of people installing wheel spacers, just the push on ones, and I've seen people put the bolt on ones, but I've never actually heard of people installing axle spacers, and I've never actually seen people installing axle spacers. So hopefully I'll be the first person to upload a video of me doing it, and you know what to do. If it helps you out in any way, shape or form, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Anyway, road trip. Oi oi! So here we have the 30mm axle spacers from Anembo Engineering. They've got the ABS sensors cut out all there. It looks really nice and clean. Very happy with this. The guys are absolutely legends, so if you ever want to go down there, just check on their website. They've got their address and everything on there, and you can just call up and they'll make you parts. If I called up a bit earlier, I would have been able to watch them actually make the parts, which I didn't actually think about. But anyway, so this is going to fit onto the rear axle. So let's get an idea here. Oops. So that's like a bit of an estimate of how much it's going to bring the wheel out. So it's not going to be like banging out here. Well, I hope it's not, because I'm really looking forward to this fitment. But anyway, let me just go check out on the other side just to make sure it's just as good. And there you can go, there you can see. So I'll have a little bit of poke, nothing massive, but it should help widen the rear axle. So let's get a first look. And then hopefully when this has gone properly and perfectly, the rear axle will be 6 centimeters wider than what it was before. So first things first, you're gonna wanna jack up your car and put it onto jack stands. And there we go. So I've got both sides jacked up and both sides on axle stands. Make sure you put something to block the front wheels off, because you are going to need to take the handbrake off in a minute. So the next step, take the wheels off. Okay, so now that the car's jacked up on jack stands and the wheels are taken off, the next step is going to be removing this bolt here so that I can drop the rear suspension. The main reason I'm doing this is because if you see that spring there, that is in the way of using sockets and stuff on the back of here. So if you want to get any type of leverage on there, then you've got no chance with that springing. But as you can see, probably get a better picture of the back. So there are 4 bolts at the back of there. I think all 4 are 17s. I'll put some up here if that's wrong. But I've also got a 10mm there which holds into the ABS sensor. So I've had to take all this off recently, so mine's already loose and everything's fine. So I don't want to give you like an unrealistic representation of what you're going to be coming into. If you've never done this before on your car and the bolts are old, you probably got a chance of something snapping. So just be prepared. And if it's your daily, try and make sure you've got backups of everything you're going to need, because when I took my ABS sensor off originally, the sensor snapped. No, not the sensor, the sensor bolt. It was already seized, so I had to drill it out and re-thread it. So your car might be a 7mm, whereas mine's now a 10mm. So yeah, just little things like that. So there might be changes in between what your vehicle is in comparison to mine because of stuff I've had to do to mine, but it should be a similar way, just a different size. But anyway, let's crack on. Okay, so using a 30mm socket again, it's going to take out the big sensor lug. There we go. So comment if I've already said this, but if you want to know how to take a drum brake off, I've already done a video on that, so just go back to the video where I've added extended lug nuts to my car. Okay then, so now that the front of the hub is off, you can see where the 4 bolts are that you need to get out from the back, and you can also see this sensor, which is that there. And you can also see where the bolt is there, which you need to loosen to get the center out. On mine it is a 10mm because I had to thread it out like I just said, but on yours it might be a 7 or an 8. But as I said before, just make sure you lubricate everything because it is an absolute pain in the arse if you have to re-thread everything. It's going to be a bit of an awkward angle, so I'm going to try and film it as best as I can, but I am literally just unbolting 5 bolts at the back of the hub. So just an update, the center of the hub is out. I've got that just here. I'm gonna probably give this a bit of a clean up before I put it back on. But there we've got the axle spacer. So if I just put that onto there, you can get a general idea of how this is gonna go back together. So just let me line that up a bit better. So yeah, all of the bolts and everything line up. No, wrong way around, there we go. That's better. So yeah, we can see that the bolts go straight through. So it should fit just on right behind there. So what I'm gonna do now is just unplug this a little bit. You need to be careful because you still have brake lines and your handbrake attached to this. But I'm gonna just try and bring it forward just enough just so I can slide the spacer in. Okay guys, so I've just done a bit of troubleshooting. So this had to be undone to fit the spacer in, which is just the bracket that holds in the brake line, and I've had to put a little bend in there. It's nothing too big, but there's a little bend in the brake line just so it pulls out a bit further. The handbrake line's fine where it is. Also, if you can see there are small divots that just poke out of there, which to help to align the hub, which I'm going to take a file to and just take those off because there's no divots in the back of the axle spacer. But yes, pretty simple stuff. It's going easy and really good to plan. I don't think there is much to show you. It is literally just unscrewing and bolting everything back in. So I'm just going to file this down a little bit more, place this up against here, run the bolts through, and then I'll start recording again. Okay then, so now you can see that the space is on there. It's not flush at the moment, it's just holding in there. Look how wide that is. But yeah, so basically the next step is, this is going to be going back where it come from. So as you can see, the spacer allows the ABS wire to come straight through. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your, I don't even know what the name of this is. You're going to get this, plug the ABS sensor back into that hole there, and then you're going to bolt it back down using that one there, and then it should push up nice and flush against that. So when it's flush against that, you're going to align the bolt holes again. You're going to go to the back and then start screwing them in. And now it's all tightened down, everything's done down really, really tight. And look at that. Look at that extra girth you get. So what I'm going to do now is just chuck on the old part of the hub, bolt that down, and then we'll test. I think we're going to do the other side quickly and then we'll put the wheels on just to see what it's looking like. Alright then, so it's the moment of truth. The wheels are all back on, the jack stands have gone, the hubs are back together. You can already tell, look at that poke. I'm hoping when it goes down a bit it will tuck in a little bit, but if it doesn't I'll just raise the car up, but it looks sick already. Let's check the other side as well. Oh, so this is the moment of truth. Just going to drop you guys down just so you can see what happens. Okay then, 3, 2, 1, nice and slow. Absolutely sick. Look at that fitment, man. And there's so much space up above, so I'm not even worried about rubbing or anything. I'm very happy with that. That was absolutely sick. Don't worry about that, I was already like that. But yeah, look at that. And it's all in between the arches, so it's still all legal. So I've got a little poke there. Oh man, I'm absolutely buzzing. If you want anything that you've just seen in this video, I mean the actual spacers, Anembo Engineering, either Google search them or just go onto their website. I'm gonna leave their information in the description. Hope you enjoyed this video. If I helped you in any way, shape or form, please feel free to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.